What's going on, guys? In the last video we talked about require and how to require internal, external, and third-party modules, and on this video we're going to be talking about user input and actually saving a note to a text file. So let's get started. What's up, guys? So we're going to talk about how to get a user's input, which we've already done in the last video somewhat. Well, we actually did do it. And we're going to be adding a note to a text file. So in the last video we went over yargs, what yargs is, and how to get title from the arguments you've listed, right? So if I do node app.js list, and then since I don't have a log here, I'm gonna log that out. Title. I'm gonna actually log out all this, body and command. All right. If I do this right now, I get undefined, undefined, and then the command is list. The reason we get undefined for these is because we didn't give a title argument, nor did we get a body argument, right? So if I do add and give it a title of note, and then give it body, and then give it a body of new note. Now you see note, new note, and the command was add. And how did we do this? Well, I'm gonna go over it briefly. If I log out yargs.argb, control save, and then run this one more time. As you can see here, you get, for yargs, you get an object, and we're just using this object to get the titles and body, the title, body, and command. The title, you literally just do argv.title, the body argsv.title, and then the command, you do argsv dot underscore because it's under an underscore, and this returns an array, so we get the first element of the array, and that's how you get add. All right, so now that we know how to do that, I'm just get rid of this, get rid of this, and then we're going to start doing if else statements for we're going to try to figure out what the user actually wants, right? So we do command equals add. Sorry, let's do add first. Add. We're going to log out adding note, and then if we just do right here, we're gonna do this 4 more times. If else command equals remove. We're gonna do removing note, and just 2 more times. Oh boy, 2 more times. Paste. We're gonna do reading note, and then list, listing all notes, right? And then we're gonna do an else statement for this, to just in case they type in something that we don't recognize, we'll just log out unknown command was used. We do it like that. Used. All right, cool. Now that we have that, we could test it out. Oh, save it. Don't forget to save it. Control S, save. Now we do adding note, list, listing all notes, reading a note, and then removing note. And if you do something like some gibberish, you should see unknown command was used. Great. This is our basis of what we're trying to get from the user, or what the user actually wants to do, right? So let's get started with the add command, and we're gonna use the functions. We're gonna create functions inside of node.js. Mine is blank because I erased it by accident and I had to create it again, so don't worry about it. We're gonna be using it. Let's go back here for a second. Never mind, I don't have it. Okay, here. This is where we're actually gonna be, creating text files and updating the text file and reading from the text file, right? So I'm pretty sure in your app.js, because I deleted it over here as well already, you have const fs equals require fs. Well, you don't need that in app.js. You don't need it here because you're not going to be doing the creating and reading and writing to text files here. You're going to be doing it over here. So over here, we're gonna get a const fs equals require fs. Right? Okay. So let's do the function. Adding note. It's going to take in 2 parameters, right? Because when we're adding, we need the title and we need the body. Control save. Alright, so as you can recall, we created a file by doing fs.append, but we're not going to do append right now. We're going to do write file sync, and this takes in 2 arguments. What do you want to create, or where's the path, which is ours is going to be a notes.txt, and then the other one is what do you want it to add, right? What do you want it to add? Well, we want to add title and body. So we'll just create an object var note equals an object of title and body. And if you remember from last time, if these 2 are the same, you could actually remove them. Remove one and just do it like this. So that's what we're going to be doing. And once we're done with this, we actually want to just put it in here. Right? We want to save it to the file. Alright. I'll tell you right now, it's not going to work, but I'll let you try to figure that out for yourself. Let's see if you can actually figure it out. So we need to export this right now, right? So module exports equals the object, and we're going to do adding note. Alright, cool. And over here we need to call it, so notes dot adding note, and then pass it in the title and body from up here, remember? Okay, let's save this. And I'll tell you why in a bit, why this is not going to work. But so we're going to do adding this right here. Alright. Okay, first of all, we misspelled something here. This is not the error that I was expecting. Or it's not even an error that we're going to get, but this is a stupid error, a silly error. I forget. Let's run it one more time. Okay, it worked. Now let's go to notes.text, as you can see. And you get this object. It didn't work. The reason why is because we're literally returning an object. We're returning an object. What we want to do is turn this object into a string, so that way we could save the string instead of the object. Because we, like, as you saw, if we save an object it's gonna tell you object to object as a string. We don't want that. We want to save a stringified object, right? So how do you do that? Well, you just do JSON dot stringify and then note. You want to stringify note, which is the object, right? Now if you save this, I'm gonna get rid of all of this in here. Save that and run this one more time. Now you get an object, or actually it's not really an object, it's a string, but it looks like an object. That's what we want, but this is a string. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so, but we're also going to come into a little error, another error, because what if we wanted to do note 2, save that. You see this? It replaces the note we just had and just replaces it with note 2. Like it replaces this whole file with the one we just created. We don't want that. What we want to do in here is actually save what's currently here, get the note, and then write out whatever was saved in here plus with the note, right? So how do we read from? We need to save the text file. Whatever's inside the text file, we need to save it. So var notes equals fs.read file sync, and this is going to take in one argument, which is the file that you want to read, which is notes.txt. Alright. Now, this is going to return another error. The reason why, well, it's not going to really return anything. It's going to return something you did not expect. So we can actually run this right now. Let me save this. Let me just comment all this out. Save that. And then I'm going to log out notes. So you would expect when we log out, we should see this, right? You would expect that. But let's see what happens. You actually get this buffer ID, this buffer string. The reason why is because Node doesn't really compile this string into a actual string in here, right? It just gives it this buffer thing. But either way, we didn't want a string to begin with. We wanted an object because we want to manipulate the object. The way it comes, we want to manipulate it, right? So how do we turn this notes back into an object? We already turned it into a string, so how do we turn it back into an object? Well, it's literally simple. You just do json.parse, and there you go. You have now an object. So you control save and then run it one more time. You get an object right back, an object that you can actually manipulate and do things to it. Alright, well, let's uncomment all this. Oh, and by the way, if you're trying to figure out how I did that so fast, the commenting is literally on Windows control / for Mac command / and then do it again, control or command / to uncomment, and you can just select multiple lines and then do it again. So yeah, that's how I did it so fast. So anyways, now we need to save this into an array. Why an array? It's because right now we're saving objects in here, so every time we save something, it's going to be an object after another object after another object, and it's going to be a hassle to actually parse this at the very end when we're trying to read a note or actually try to listing all the notes, because we're going to have to parse it, every object by itself. It'll be easier if all the objects were stored in one single array, so that way we could just do a loop in the array for these objects. So we're going to do this. Var notes equals an empty array, right? we can actually do it this way. Watch. Copy. Well, let's just do it right now. Let's just do it this way for now. And we're going to just do notes dot push JSON. We're going to push this object into the array, right? Control save. So you guys can see what's going on. So we have an array, and we're pushing this object that we just grabbed from the text file into the array, right? And now we have to push it one more time down here. Note.push note, and it's supposed to be notes.push because and we're going to be passing in notes, right? So now we have this note 2 new note. So let's try just in the answer, that way we know we actually add something. And look at this. Now we have an array with objects in here. Now we could actually start looping through the objects, which makes our lives a whole much more easier. How much? I don't even know. So much more easier. There you go. So much more easier. How much? Where was I getting that from? So much easier. So, all right, but this is kind of messy, don't you think? And plus, check this out. If we actually don't have nothing in here, control save this and try to run something, you're gonna get an error. Why do you get an error? Let's go back right here. Look, unexpected end of JSON input. This right here. The reason why we're getting an error right here is because it's trying to parse an object, a so-called object that's already in notes. Well, we don't have nothing in notes. We literally don't have anything in notes. So how is it going to parse anything in there if we don't have anything? That's why you're getting the error. So how do you fix this? Well, we could do a try catch block. We're going to try to do something, right? We're going to try to do something, and then no, not that, catch. And if it doesn't work, we're going to catch an error. It takes in one parameter, which is the error, right? Okay, so right now let's do var up right here. We're going to do var notes. We're going to clean this up. Var notes, right? We declared a variable. All right, and we're gonna make this into an empty array. Sorry about that. Control save. Oh well, no, let's not do this. Let's just do var notes. Control save. Okay, now try. We're gonna try to push in this, right? We're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to read a file and parse it out and store it in notes. Now, if that doesn't work, we're going to just do notes equals an empty array, right? Okay. Now, if you do control save, and since we don't have anything here, you're not going to get this error no more, since we kind of already, fixed that. So if we actually run it one more time. Why did I get an error? Hold on. Time for some debugging. Unexpected end of JSON input, which is right here. Is it like that? Try. Yeah, okay. I am getting an error, guys. Hold on for a second. Okay, I figured out the problem. The reason why we're doing it is because we have this again. We didn't delete it. We need to delete this. This is why you should always have clean code, because it gets extremely messy. All right, now we save it. We run it. Okay, adding note. Finally, as you can see now, we're adding note, and it didn't have an error on actually reading it or parsing it, right? So, but we could clean this up a little bit more. The reason why is because, okay, this bit right here, we're going to be using this a lot. The reason why is because when we're listing a note, we're going to have to fetch all of this data, the data from notes.txt. We're going to have to fetch it, right? That's what we're doing right now. We're fetching it. So every time we read something, we're going to fetch it. Every time we list something, fetch it. Add something, we need to fetch it. We're going to remove something, we need to fetch it. So this is going to be actually used on all of the commands. So we can actually take this out and put it into its own function, right? Function fetch notes equals, oh my bad, sorry. It's gonna be there's not gonna be anything in there. Do this right here. We can just delete this right now. And instead of notes, we're gonna just do return. We're gonna return, not this push. We're gonna return this, the file that we just read. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna just return an empty array, right? And then right here, we're gonna set this equal to fetch notes. Control save that. So if we actually run it one more time, we can actually see that it works. Yes, and we do get it. And this is cleaner code because now we have this adding note and this little bit of code right here that does all of this for us. So it's just nice and simple. You know, it keeps it very, very clean. And okay, I know you're used to seeing these functions, and I've been using functions this way. Well, we're gonna start using ES6 syntax functions, which are called fat arrow functions or just arrow functions. How do we use fat arrow functions or arrow functions? Well, let's take this example right now. In front of it, we're gonna just create a variable var, and then we're gonna just delete this function. So var fetch notes is gonna equal to this right here, parentheses, arrow, greater than, and then curly braces. This is literally how you do arrow functions. That's it. This is how we're going to be doing things from now on. So again, here I'll let you do this one on your own for a bit, and then I'll jump in. So pause the video so that way you could do it real quick. So in front of function, we're going to do var space delete this function, right? And then do equals, and then the parentheses, and then equals greater than. You're used to doing it like this. You're used to doing, if you're adding a function to a variable, you're used to doing this var func equals function, right? You're used to doing this right here. This is what you're used to seeing. Well, just get rid of this function right here, and then just add a equals and greater than, and this is the exact same thing as the previous. Control save, and if you do it one more time, you should actually see it run. And yes, we do get another one. All right, cool. Now that we've actually done adding a note, right? And we've also got rid of some errors that we would have encountered. Now we could go, in the next video, we could start actually building the rest of the application, which is reading, removing, and listing all notes, which I'm pretty sure you could do it on your own. I mean, this pretty much, I already gave you most of everything that you could do. You could literally do the rest on your own, more than likely. Give it a shot, you know, because next video we're gonna be completing this notes application. So guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment, give it a like or a dislike, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And see you in the next video.